Hey Matara, I met a really nice girl that I'm talking to. Do you have relationship advice? Yeah, keep talking to her. I think everybody that you first meet is always going to be on their best behavior and you're always going to get the best version of them. Unfortunately, sorry, you asked me for relationship advice, but I'm about to make you a little sad. You don't really know people. I like to say you don't really know people until you disagree with them, but it goes further than that. You don't really know people until you both disagree on something very important, and then you see how they treat you in a fight. You see if they're going to, resort to being rude, resort to being mean, or if they're gonna, kind of like fight against you or make it you and them versus the fight. Number one, you're gonna see how they take accountability. Number two, another one is people will show you their best sides at the beginning because people want to impress you and they want you to like them. And it's going to take a lot of months for that kind of veneer to start falling, I guess. So just keep talking to them. Keep talking to them. Think about early dating, or any dating, to be honest, as research and development. You're just doing R&D, right? You're just doing R&D, and they can tell you a bunch of these things. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're out with this girl and she's telling you she loves to cook. She's a cook every day. She's cooking. She loves to cook. And then you've kind of talked to her for 3 months. And then you realize she never cooks. So then you're thinking, was she just telling me that she loves to cook because she wants to impress me? Things like those are little examples, but you don't really know people at the beginning. I think at the beginning, even if people aren't trying to, most people kind of have their guard up and most people are trying to just show you little parts of themselves. So it's going to take a while for their mask to slip, and you're kind of have to see how they treat the waiter. If maybe you guys go on a small trip and the car breaks down or there's no gas and they start freaking out and yelling at you, right? Or it's never going to be on the first or second or third date that you're really going to. And by the way, if it is the first date and they're already exhibiting really crazy stuff, ooh, it's not going to get any. Basically, the first few months of knowing somebody, this is where it gets tough, right? And I'll give you the example with Miki. I'm sorry, Miki. I'm using you as an example because I love you. My first getting to know Miki was fine, but now as I've known her more, it's a deeper friendship and it's a deeper trust, and it's better and better and better. But that's because obviously, like with any friend, we had some disagreements, we had some stuff, we traveled together, we did a bunch of stuff. There was a lot of things that happened between us. But you should kind of treat the first few months of dating as the highlight reel. So if there's already problems there, and it should then get better. That's another part too, where the closer friends I am with people, the more deep our relationship get, the better our jokes get, the more we get along. That's kind of how it should work. But yeah, I just want to be held and feel wanted. I'm sorry, Quizzy. You and a lot of us. Maury, thank you for the 14 months. I think just kind of reframe a lot of your early dating as it's just research and development, right? If you meet somebody and you had a great date, that's nice, but it's research and development. You don't, see one thing and you're like, oh my God, let me buy 5,000 of them. You're like, all right, let me get the sample in. Let me feel the sample. Let me compare it. I don't know. By see, by feel. I just want someone to go to Quiznos with. I don't think I've ever been to Quiznos. Yeah. I think just remember that people have a very long research and development phase, and that's okay. Some people have longer research and development phases. Sometimes people's lifestyle and your lifestyle don't really work together, and that's okay. And I think another one is have an idea of what you want and don't be afraid to say no. I think sometimes we're afraid to say no to people, or we're afraid to leave people, or we're afraid to leave situations because everyone's got this thing I think you should have high standards, but also, okay, how did this turn into a dating talk? You should have standards and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But also, you should be a little realistic with for example, currently, I'm not in the greatest shape of my life. Am I in good shape? Sure. But I'm not currently making the gym a priority. So if I am expecting to be with a man who has a 12 pack and is working out and eating healthy on the time and not drinking, well, that's not what I'm doing at the moment. At the moment, I am drinking a little bit. I'm not taking care of myself the way I should be. My nails aren't done, my stuff like that. So there's also that reality of if you are looking, for example, for somebody that is super fit and super educated and maybe goes to therapy and is emotionally intelligent, but you aren't doing all that stuff, it's maybe not realistic. And that goes for everybody, men, women, everybody, right? Where you also have to kind of realize okay, well, if you want somebody that works on themselves and is Yeah. If you want somebody that like is communicative and takes accountability and all that stuff, are you communicative and do you take accountability? As an example, because chances are that person will also want that kind of accountability and communication from you, right? And that is what it is. I think compatibility is more important than attraction. Yeah, I think it also depends where you are in life, right? Like you try telling an 18-year-old that emotional compatibility is more important than attraction when like just recently become adult, they're like, I just want to, put my thing in someone else's thing. Like you try explaining that to an 18-year-old, right? That like, you're looking for an emotional connection and you're looking for compatibility, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it is what it is. Thank you, Flower. I really appreciate that. So I think it's really important I think it's important, like I said, you have to have your boundaries and you have to have things that maybe are kind of like, okay, I don't tolerate this. But at the same time, you should also give people, I know it's so hard, I'm sorry. Because at the same time, you should also give people grace. And you should also understand that people aren't perfect. People make mistakes. Maybe somebody did not say the full truth on a date to you, right? And then you kind of are like, hey, you told me this on the date, but then you said this. Why are you, saying things that are untruthful? And maybe they're going to be like, look, I'm so sorry. I was actually embarrassed because XYZ. And then you decide, is that enough for me? It depends. That's so sweet of you, Flower. Chat, also proud of you all. Everyone is doing their best and that's plenty. Chat. I love when you get called chat. Chat room. Chat. Don't cry. 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 Too late, Matara. Already crying, spinning, crying. I want someone to love me for who I am. But then this is the problem with wanting to find somebody to love you for who you are, is that number one, you actually have to show people who you are, which is fucking scary and fucking terrifying, right? Sorry for my language. But then, wait. Let me go further. But then there's gonna be people who don't love you for who you are, and you're gonna be like, everything is wrong with me, right? And then you're gonna be like, everything is wrong with me because these people don't love me for who and sometimes you can work on yourself too. Like, for example, right now, I am drinking a lot. Not that much, but I am drinking more than I should be at the moment. But also my parents are visiting. We're going out to restaurants. We're having champagne, whatever. So let's say like I could tell myself, I want to find somebody who loves me for my drinking and blah. But it's also like, well, I should also for my health not drink as much. At my big age, I'm getting there, there's definitely stuff where it's like, I want people to love me for who I am, but if I'm somebody that like goes reclusive and doesn't communicate with anybody for 6 months out of a year, well, maybe I could work on that a little bit, Your mom will love you for that, but it is not a liter of wine a day. I will say yesterday I had two glasses of Prosecco, right? And then I gave the rest to Junie. And then when I went out with my family later, I had a glass for dinner. So I did have 3 glasses of wine yesterday. It did add up, but I'm not drinking today. Tee. I'm not dating till I work out on my issues myself. Ooh, that's interesting, John. See, the thing with dating is you're always gonna be like, dating is a good way to also realize where your issues are and how to fix them. But I need you to understand, John, and I mean it. You deserve love at every part of the journey. Right? Like, just like you deserve friendship at every part of the journey. Yes, sometimes you are like very hurt. If you just got out of like a 20-year marriage, maybe you're not ready to, date again right away. I get it. You have your own stuff to do, but you deserve to feel love and appreciation, and you deserve to have friendship at every part of your healing journey, right? So that is also something to kind of keep in mind, John. You don't want to get into a point where you're only ever going to therapy and you're only ever working on yourself and you never actually like meet people and give them a chance, right? Yeah, you hate the idea of being worthy of love at the finish line of your journey. Exactly. Me too. Same. Like you do deserve to find people and love, even if you're not perfect. But also I understand if maybe not everybody, let's say, I'll give me as an example. Earlier this year, right? Like, do I sometimes get asked out? Maybe. And if I go on a date with somebody and I'm just complaining about the stuff that happened with my work, this year, and I'm miserable and I'm crying and I'm in therapy all the time, yeah, I do deserve love. But at the same time, I can imagine if a new man that I don't know will be like, sorry, baby girl, not interested. And like, I get it, which is why I'm not dating. I'm not doing research and development right now. But once I heal, it's research and development time, baby. It's research and development time. R&D. It would help if leaving the house in general wasn't stupidly expensive. I agree with you. It feels like nowadays leaving the house, everything costs so much money, and that sucks. And that really, really sucks. Which is why, again, a lot of people are meeting at run clubs, hiking, rock climbing, all that kind of stuff. Pickleball, which again, that also costs money. Hell yeah, Skip. I love hearing that. Rufo, I'm sorry that you feel that way. It is something that you have to deal with and something that, there's definitely a lot of people that will love you for other things than that. But if you yourself don't feel that way, then, there's not much I can really tell you. 2 year of Roach Mother. What's up, Arbiter? Also, okay, I have something I want to mention, and then we're going to play video games, okay? For the first time in a really, really long time in society and, whatever, we don't have to get married. For men and women, we don't have to make babies. We don't need to continue the bloodline. We don't need to do this stuff. So that's also kind of exciting because, I don't know, I'm a growing hag woman, right? And there's a lot of folks being like, oh, Matara, if you don't have kids now, you're gonna miss out forever, and it's the great. And I don't know. I'm like, my grandmother was not allowed to live experiences the way I'm living my experiences. My mother, same thing. So it's kind of cool that I can just not have kids if I don't want to. I also don't have to get married if I don't want to. I also don't even need to be in a relationship if I don't want to, right? Like, that was something before where I'm sure y'all have heard, like, a woman is nothing without a man and a man is nothing without a woman. But I don't know. I've really enjoyed my like roommate time, right? Like, I live with the girl. It's great. I hang out with some girls. It's nice. I don't know. It's been kind of nice. I'm like, I'm doing my stuff. It's nice. I can still have a fulfilling life that's exciting, and I don't know. Aren't I scared of cooties? Not at the moment. I kind of feel like I need to continue the bloodline because I'm an only child. At least I feel like I do. You don't owe your parents children. Like, you do not owe your family, your parents, you don't owe them children. You should have children if you want to have children, but you don't owe your parents to, it's absolutely not something that you have to do for them. Has it really been 2 years? It has been, Arashime. It's going to be 2 years on October 15th. Can you believe that? That would be a crazy bargain. Okay, Timmy, we will buy you an Xbox, but you owe us a grandchild by the time you're 28. That sounds awful. But yeah, bribe your siblings to have children. I know you said you don't have any siblings, but yeah, you should, Space Captain. One of the things about Anime Impulse that I really love is they do have fairly cheap tickets. I don't know if Anime Impulse Dallas will be the same, but Anime Impulse OC, it was $45 for a Saturday and a Sunday. Like, both Saturday and Sunday together were $45. And it was a huge convention because it combines K-pop, it combines card collecting, and it combines VTubers. So there's so much. I have every hereditary disease under the sun. Why would I want to curse a kid with that, right? I kind of feel bad terminating 200k years of human evolution. Somebody else is not terminating those years of evolution. Plus, you have a bunch of kids. Yeah, true. You can donate your eggs or your floaters if you want people to. You could still have technically your offspring be around. It just won't be in like the traditional. I don't know. Also, yeah, everybody will eventually forget about everything. Like, in 100 years, no matter how great your name was in history in 1,000 years, and then I don't know. I know. So Skip, I obviously feel like this is another thing about children. I know there's been a lot of discussion lately about, maybe maybe Gen X and the gen before them didn't always raise kids. They did the best they could. But now I've been seeing some kid content that it really feels like the parents want to be parents, and they are doing such a good job about it. Right? And because of that, it's just kind of exciting. Alexander the Great would like to disagree with you. Well, Alexander the Great was what, 2,000 years ago? 3,000 years ago? What about 10,000 years ago? There's a lot of stuff we don't know about that. So in 5,000 more years, who's to say we're going to know about Alexander the Great? Old Alex the Great was gay as hell. How often do y'all think about the Roman Empire, huh? How often do y'all think about the Roman Empire? Not enough, Matara. Not enough. I know he wasn't Roman. I know he's Greek. But because you guys mentioned Alexander the Great, actually, wait, wasn't he Macedonian? Which I don't even know if that would be like modern. He wasn't even Greek, right? He was Macedonian. Yeah. My bad. Hey, I corrected myself before you corrected me. So yeah. It's just that I thought about it because I was thinking about that meme of how often do you think about the Roman Empire? Yeah. I prefer to think about Greek mythology. Okay, there. Okay. I don't think. All right. let me pop open a game. But yeah, at the end of the day, Momos, it is night. Thank you.